Hello again. Hey, I promised something this week that I'm going to pivot on because I got a question from somebody, and it was actually a really good question. It was logical. It made more sense to do this as far as a flow. Somebody had asked me about the equipment that I use to digitize. There's a lot. Careful what you ask for. So I'm going to go through all of the gear that I have here in the studio to digitize tapes. First, before I do that, though, I'm going to talk about the philosophy behind it. So, when I started this, going back to the first video that I talked about, I made a decision that I was very limited on time, and so I got the best equipment I could find within a reasonable budget that was specialized for digitizing old, obsolete media. A lot of help from the digital FAQ forum for help on audio, video stuff, mostly video on that side. But yeah, so I'm going to go through every single piece of this, and I'm going to start with audio, and then I'm going to go to video after the audio. So here goes. Oh, I'm going to go behind the camera on this too, because it's too hard to talk through it otherwise. Alrighty, so first of all, let's talk about the audio cassettes because they are the most common ones that I digitize. So first of all, I have the Nakamichi Dragon. The reason I really like the Dragon is that it has an auto azimuth adjustment, and since I'm cranking some volume here, it's really helpful when it adjusts on its own, other than me with my tinnitus-laden ears trying to adjust the high end on those. So. Really nice deck. I know that they are outrageously expensive now. I luckily got this thing for $600 on a Craigslist ad about 10 years ago, and then got it refurbed by the legendary Willie Herman over in Orinda. All right, the next one was a generous gift from my friend Carlos. This is the backup deck, really, for the Dragon. So if the Dragon ever goes down, has to go in the shop, I've got the 670 ZX Nakamichi cassette deck. This one's just as nice. I mean, Willie, when he said, when I took it to him for refurbishment, he's like, this thing is just as nice as a Dragon. So yeah, it's a very capable backup deck whenever this one has to go into the shop. Okay, so that's the most common one. Also, I've got a couple thousand digital audio tapes. The one that really, I've got a couple DAT decks, but the one that really seems to play through with the least amount of problems is the Sony PCM R500. It plays in both SP, LP, 32 kilohertz, 44.1 kilohertz, 48 kilohertz, and it's an absolute workhorse. I've had this one refurbed by Mark over at Fed Electronics down in Burbank. I also have a backup one of these exact same models over on the shelf in case this one ever bonks out. I can just keep going. Slide the other PCM R500 in here and just keep on cranking out tapes. The next one is mini disc. I had originally, let's go here first. So this mini disc player, God, it's hard to see this, I know. I originally started with this one, this Yamaha down here. It was kind of troublesome. It did a digital output into the CD recorder up here, this Philips CD recorder, but it was kind of clunky, and the levels were auto set at a super low level. So I actually got the Tascam MD350, which is one of those commercial units that plays mini discs with an optical output. And if neither of these can do the trick, if it's a problem disc, I also have this little portable jobber here. This is what I started with. It doesn't really, it doesn't have a whole lot of digital capabilities, so. But it's there just in case. All right, all of this stuff, I got more to go through, by the way, but all this stuff is then lined into a PC with the M-Audio audiophile 2496 card. This is not the highest end card you can get, but it's really great. And the thing about it that kind of differentiates itself from others is that it does, here, I'll show myself for a second. It does 44.1 kilohertz, 48 kilohertz, and 32, which is kind of, not many cards do that, and this thing's been an absolute workhorse. I actually had the EMU 1212, and it was nothing but a problem, and it didn't do 32, so I'm super happy with that. This is actually a second one in case the other one bonks out or if I need to build another PC for volume. All right, so onward to reel machines. I have a lot of reel machines, man. This is a Fostex. I actually don't even know. I think this is called an A7. I'm not even sure. But it's a multi-track. It's an 8-track reel-to-reel machine. So if you have one of those multi-channel reel-to-reels, you can use that to transfer it. And then I had 2 super generous gifts. Thank you to Dennis and Radley for the donations of the Otari MX5050 reels. These things are like studio. These come right out of studios, these things, and they're excellent quality. That's what I've been transferring recent reels on, and you can actually hear what have I posted so far? The runners at Cal Expo done with one of these 5050s. What else? Oh yeah, man. And what studio is complete without an 8-track player? I have a shitload of 8-tracks, man. I like the quality of 8-tracks. I think they sound great. The fading out between songs is kind of a bummer. But yeah, it's great. Now finally, I can't find them because this place is a friggin' mess. But I've got micro cassette playback capability that can also line into the computer. So yeah, you got those micro cassettes, you know where to go. And then last but not least, all of this stuff gets thrown back into this hell of a mess back here. Yeah, I know people have this beautiful, like, elegant wiring systems. Mine's chaos. And into a Windows XP computer running Reaper, and that's how I capture audio, video for both DAT and cassette. So that's audio, and that's the smaller one. Wait till you see video. All right, time for video. Jesus, I really don't even know how I'm going to do all of this. All right, so first and foremost, the one I use the most often is this one. This is the AG 1980 Panasonic. It is considered the best VHS NTSC VCR that you can get. And it's my workhorse. I actually, back when I started doing this, my repair guy said, if you're going to be doing a lot of tapes, you're going to want to hoard as many VCR decks as you can. So I did. Most of these over here are, one of them is the backup DAT, but most of these are more VCRs. Like this is an AG 1960. This is a it's one of the HRS series. Oh, right there, HRS 9900U. So yeah, I'm covered on VHS NTSC decks, but the AG 1980 is the one that's like the go-to. And that's just for a standard videotape, like one of these down here. All right. Standard old VHS. All right, so the next one here is 8mm. Now, I use a desktop one like this, a component one, because it has tracking, number one, and number two, it has S video out, so I can port this into the data video TBC over here. That's a very expensive light that gets turned on and digitizes your videos there. And so, yeah, one of the keys with all this stuff is to get as large of a file as possible, so when you're denoising it, it comes out really clean. That's kind of the secret sauce there is that piece. So yeah, that's the 8mm deck that I use. If I have trouble getting it to play, because these are old tapes, I usually resort to the old camcorder. This also has digital out, but again, that doesn't give you the file size you need for denoising, so I usually resort to the S-Video. What else? What's next? Let's move over here, I guess. All right, Beta. So I actually, this one you can see it says Super Beta Hi-Fi. This actually isn't the best deck that you can get. This is an SLHF 900 here. I have better ones that are in repair right now. My goal is to get the best deck you can possibly get for every format. This one is, not this deck, but some of the ones I'm getting worked on can be more as expensive as a car. And so I'm trying to get one put together because you can't get the parts, and they're very, like I said, they're very expensive. So I didn't bring a beta tape to show you what it looks like, but yeah, I probably can. I can probably grab one from Russ Gibbs stuff over here. This is what a beta tape looks like right here, okay? In comparison to a VHS tape that we just saw from, see, you can kind of see the difference there, in case you've never seen a beta tape, all you youngsters. All right, next up is, so you see this one says Super VHS. This is a Philips VR1000. For some insane reason, we don't have a worldwide standard for VHS tapes and for video around the world. You have VHS, NTSC, which is what we use in the U.S. You've got PAL tapes, which look exactly the same as the other ones, but they PAL tapes won't play on NTSC decks, and NTSC tapes won't play on PAL decks. And so I got the well, not the best, but a high-end with TBC Philips deck, so I could actually output this into the data video digitizing time-based correction box as well. For all the rest of the VHS tapes around the world, there's this Samsung, I don't know if you can see it, it says worldwide video on there. This does everything, and you can kind of, I don't know if you can actually see it, I should probably get a flashlight out, but over here, these are all the formats that you can have. You've got 6 different formats worldwide. This one doesn't have an S-video out, I don't think, and so that's my last resort one. If there's something in like the Australian C-cam format or something, I have to resort to that as kind of like a fallback when nothing else will work. All right, so onward. We did beta. We did we did PAL video. Let's go look at some of these other formats. So this is 8mm here. This is where a lot of my early master tapes are filmed, is on 8mm. You can kind of see there, Primus at Cattle, Op Ivy at River Theater. And that's that deck right here. This EVS2000 Sony Hi8 deck that I was talking about before. Okay, sorry about skipping around there. I meant to show you examples of the tapes as well. Mini DV. This is the worst format in the history of man. It's an early digital video format that is notorious for not playing back well on a deck that it wasn't taped on. But I have tried to mitigate that by having a shitload of decks. So I'll show you my main one. These are the backups. So I have a Sony DV player here. That's got an SPHS out, which is important. Here's another handy cam there that doesn't, and a third one that's a super cheap one. So if nothing else plays, that's the last resort one. But my main DV deck right now, and there have been some problematic playbacks, is this baby right here, the Sony DV Cam DSR 1800. In fact, I just posted some today from the DSR 1800. It's cool because it does the larger DV tapes, and then also the smaller ones here. It has actually 2 different types of slots. Same with the U-matic we're getting to next. All right, next is U-matic. So if you look at a VHS tape, okay, this is how much bigger a U-matic tape is. U-matic was the TV station standard before they went digital. This bad boy right here is my one working U-matic deck. It's only outputting in 1 channel audio right now, so it's going to Burbank to get fixed. But that's why you haven't seen anything transferred from U-matic lately. That's a backup deck over there for U-matic that might end up in the trash heap. I still need to see if that's salvageable. And then there's even more obscure formats. There's digital Betacam. There's DVC Pro here. I think that's that blue one I was just showing you the case of. What else? There's more. Oh, and then just to button things up here. I know this is getting long, so I'm sorry. There's also other things, like I taped some stuff in DBX on my old Marantz audio deck. So that's there in case I need to decode DBX, or if anybody has tapes that need DBX decoding. That can also be done. Oh, yeah, and I also have, I don't think I said this already, I have micro cassettes. Did I say that already? Old age, you know. I can do micro cassettes. And so my goal has been to try to do every single format of audio and video, which is kind of impossible because there's so many of them. But I've gotten kind of close here. My AC is going on. Sorry, it's 100 degrees outside today. But really, if you have tapes of any of these formats, I can actually run them in the quality that you see that I normally post. So contact me. That's the gear review. I'm so sorry about like people that aren't interested in this stuff, because I know this is a total nerd fest. So next week I will go through my tape collection. Thank you. Bye.